Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to look past all the headlines, cut through the hype, and really get to the bottom of what blockchain is. And I promise you, the real story here is so much bigger and way more interesting than just Bitcoin.
So when I say the word blockchain, what's the very first thing that pops into your head? Yeah, for most of us, I bet it's something that looks a little like this.
Right? This kind of chaotic world of digital money, price charts going to the moon and then crashing back down to Earth, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that stuff. And look, you're not wrong. That's definitely where blockchain first made a huge splash. But thinking that's all it is, that's kind of like saying the entire internet was only built for sending emails.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the real story, the one that matters, is about completely changing how we trust each other online. We're talking about securing our health records, making sure the food we eat is actually safe, and yeah, maybe even making our elections more transparent. It's a fundamental shift, a whole new way of handling digital information.
So how in the world does it do all this? Let's peel back the layers and see what's actually going on under the hood. And don't worry, I'll keep it simple.
Okay, so this slide gets right to the heart of it. Think about how things work now. Most of our important data lives in one central place, like a bank's server or a company's database. And that one spot, it's a huge target. It can be hacked, it can fail, it can be controlled by a single entity. Blockchain just flips that whole idea on its head. Instead of one central copy, the data is shared and duplicated across a massive network of computers. There's no single point of failure.
So the magic really happens with something called a distributed ledger. The easiest way to think about it, it's like a shared digital notebook. Every single thing that happens, a payment, an update to a record, tracking a package, is a new entry in that notebook. Everyone on the network sees it, and once a page is written, bam, it's locked in with this unique digital fingerprint. You can't just go back and secretly rip a page out or scribble something out. Everyone would know.
And this is the really cool part. Before anything gets added, the whole network has to agree. So you request a transaction, and it gets blasted out to all the computers. This process is called consensus, and it means a bunch of computers have to look at the transaction and go, yep, this looks legit. Only then does it get bundled into a new block and locked onto the chain forever. That's what makes it so secure.
Okay, so that's the theory. Kind of cool, right? But what does this actually look like in the real world? Because this isn't just some far-off concept anymore. It's already solving some really big problems.
You know, we're seeing this pop up in places you would never expect. And it all comes down to one thing: creating a single, trusted source of truth that no one person or company can mess with. Take healthcare. It's about giving you, the patient, actual control over your own medical records. Or real estate, creating land registries that are basically fraud-proof. And in supply chains, well, it's providing a level of transparency we've just never had before.
All right, check this out. Just one number on the screen, 2.2 seconds. Any guesses? What could that possibly be? Well, the answer is actually staggering. And get this, that's the time it took Walmart to trace where a single mango came from using blockchain. Think about that. When there's a food safety scare, that process used to take them 7 days. 7 days of digging through paperwork. Now, it's done in less time than it takes to finish this sentence. That's the power we're talking about.
And it's not just about mangoes, not by a long shot. We're talking about verifying that diamonds aren't from conflict zones. We're seeing it in digital art with NFTs, ensuring the integrity of data in clinical trials, and even letting neighbors trade solar power directly with each other. So what do all these things have in common? They all need a record of truth that's secure, that's verifiable, and it can't be secretly changed.
Okay, but let's pump the brakes for a second. As amazing as all this sounds, we have to be real. Blockchain isn't some magic wand, and there are some major hurdles to clear before it's everywhere.
One of the biggest headaches for developers is something they call the blockchain trilemma. Basically, you want 3 things. You want it to be super secure, crazy fast, and completely decentralized, so no one is in charge. The problem? It's almost impossible to have all 3 at max level. You usually have to trade one for another. For example, making it faster might mean sacrificing a little bit of decentralization.
And that's not all. There are other real-world problems we have to talk about. For one, the energy consumption for some of these networks, like Bitcoin's, is just massive. We're talking huge amounts of power. Then there's the challenge of plugging this brand new tech into the old, clunky systems that run most of the world. It's tough, and it's expensive. And let's not forget the regulators. Governments are still scratching their heads trying to figure out how to handle all this, which creates a lot of uncertainty.
But look, the story definitely doesn't end with the problems. Really smart people are working around the clock on some incredible solutions to crack these challenges and bring on the next wave of this technology.
So that speed problem we talked about, how do you fix it? One of the coolest ideas is something called Layer 2 solutions. Here's the analogy. Imagine the main blockchain is this super secure but kinda slow armored truck. A Layer 2 is like a high-speed courier that zips alongside it. It bundles up a bunch of small transactions, processes them super fast, and then just hands a neat little summary back to the secure armored truck. It's a total game changer for speed.
And the innovation is just getting started. People are building ways for different blockchains to actually talk to each other, creating a true internet of blockchains. And what about this? Decentralized identity. Imagine a world where you, not some giant tech company, actually own and control your personal data. That's what's on the horizon. Plus, we're seeing AI get mixed in to make these systems even smarter and more secure. So what's the bottom line here? What could all this be worth? Well, check out this number. Some analysts are projecting that by 2030, blockchain could add, wait for it, $1.76 trillion to the global economy. That's the kind of scale we're talking about as this technology really starts to mature.
So at the end of the day, here's what it all comes down to. If you forget all the hype and the crazy price charts, blockchain is really just a new kind of tool. It's a tool for building trust. Trust in a digital world where, let's be honest, it's often in short supply. So the real question isn't what is blockchain? The question I want to leave you with is, now that we have this powerful new tool for building trust, what should we build with it?